Constipation is a defecation disorder characterized by the slowing of intestinal transit of feces in the intestine and manifests itself with difficulty in evacuation, pain, and abdominal swelling. It is a very common disorder that affects approximately 15 to 20% of the population and whose frequency tends to increase with age, especially in people over 65 and in females, who have a risk almost 4 times higher than men. To fight constipation, we must start from what we eat, as nutrition plays a crucial role in maintaining intestinal health and therefore in ensuring regular stool transit. In fact, there are some foods that, thanks to their natural laxative power, help to promote emptying of the intestine, thus counteracting constipation. But which are they? Let's go see them. Plums. Oval in shape, slightly elongated and with an intense purple color, plums are the fruit of the prunus tree, grown throughout Europe and the United States. Plums, with their sweet and juicy pulp, are the fruit par excellence for combating constipation thanks to their laxative effect, noticeable after consuming 50/100 grams. This is because they contain a good amount of dietary fiber, that is, all those organic substances that the enzymes of our digestive system are unable to break down and therefore digest. Even if they are not absorbed by our intestine, they help regulate intestinal transit, especially if combined with adequate water intake. In the case of plums, we find both soluble and insoluble dietary fibers. While the former dissolve in water, forming a gel that helps slow digestion and regulate blood sugar and cholesterol levels, the latter, on the other hand, contribute to increasing the volume of feces, thus helping to combat and prevent constipation. The laxative effects of plums are also due to the presence of a particular type of sugar, known as sorbitol. Its hyperosmotic properties draw water into the colon, thus stimulating intestinal peristalsis and making the stool softer. Dried plums, on the other hand, obtained by dehydrating the fresh fruit, have a lower water content, but a higher concentration of sugars, which can have a more intense and immediate laxative effect. Oats. Avena sativa is a herbaceous plant belonging to the Gramineae group, from which a cereal is obtained that is rich in nutrients and beneficial properties for the health of our body. Among these, we find the ability to lower cholesterol and blood sugar levels, promote weight loss, reduce inflammation, and strengthen the immune system, as well as improve intestinal functions. These positive effects are largely due to the presence of soluble dietary fibers, in particular beta-glucans, indigestible polysaccharides found in the cell walls of some types of plants, including oats. Once taken and come into contact with water in the gastrointestinal tract, beta-glucans form a substance with a gelatinous consistency that helps increase fecal mass, thus facilitating intestinal peristalsis and therefore evacuation. Current evidence suggests that oats may also beneficially influence the composition of the gut microbiota, thereby promoting the growth of good bacteria in the gut that help improve digestive health and reduce the risk of constipation. Kiwi. Kiwi is an exotic fruit, more precisely a berry, produced by Actinidia chinensis, a climbing plant native to southern China, capable of reaching up to 10 meters in height. According to the results of an international multicenter study, consuming 2 green kiwis a day has been shown to improve the symptoms of constipation, and in particular by softening the consistency of stool, reducing the effort of defecation, and alleviating abdominal swelling. Among the possible mechanisms underlying the beneficial effects of kiwis on intestinal regularity, we find the presence of dietary fibers in the cell walls of this fruit and the content of some compounds known as raphides. These are crystals of calcium carbonate or oxalate, which once ingested stimulate the production of mucin, a glycoprotein with a lubricating and protective action. The feces will then flow more quickly along the digestive tract, thus promoting evacuation and counteracting constipation. Beans. Black, white, or red are some of the most common varieties of beans, the edible seeds of a herbaceous plant belonging to the leguminosa family. Rich in vitamins, especially vitamins A, B, C, and K, and proteins and essential minerals such as potassium, phosphorus, calcium, and iron, beans boast numerous beneficial properties for health, including those on the digestive system. Beans, as we have seen with oats, contain a good amount of dietary fiber, both soluble and insoluble, which helps to increase fecal mass, thus facilitating transit in the digestive tract. However, it is important to introduce fiber into your diet gradually, since a sudden and excessive increase in their consumption can cause gastrointestinal disorders, such as flatulence and abdominal swelling. They must also be accompanied by a sufficient quantity of water, otherwise they cannot perform their function at their best, but on the contrary, you risk obtaining a counterproductive effect. Artichokes. The artichoke is a herbaceous plant typical of the Mediterranean basin and is used mainly in the culinary field, but also in the medical and herbal fields, thanks to its numerous pharmacological properties. Rich in vitamins and minerals, the artichoke is among the vegetables that contain the highest amount of dietary fiber, especially soluble fiber. The best known is inulin, a carbohydrate polymer that is not digestible by the enzymes produced by the human body, but is very important for intestinal health. It is therefore a fiber that also acts as a prebiotic. That is, it has the ability to selectively stimulate the growth and activity of some good bacteria that live in the intestinal tract. Eating artichokes therefore promotes the balance of the intestinal microbiota, helping to improve digestion and promote intestinal regularity, as well as alleviating the symptoms of constipation. In conclusion, we have seen how nutrition plays an important role in maintaining intestinal health and is one of the fundamental pillars in the prevention and treatment of constipation, and must always be combined with regular physical activity and the daily intake of a sufficient amount of water.